day.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and happy Friday. In all of my years of helping people with their computer, one of the things I come across super often that I'm always shocked by is how many people don't back up their data. They've got all their files on their computer hard drive, and if that hard drive dies, then they've lost everything. Now, there are essentially two ways that you can back up your data. One is you can use an external hard drive that you plug into your computer every now and again to back up your files, or you can use an offsite backup service through a third party, and that's what we're going to talk about today, so let's jump right into it. Now, in terms of backing up to an external hard drive, these days you can get an external hard drive of pretty decent capacity for pretty cheap, so there's really no reason to not buy a $50 or $60 simple external hard drive, plug it into your computer, and use the computer's built-in backup services to just back everything up. Both Mac and PC have built-in backup services, and they're super easy to use. We'll do tech tips about those in the future. But it's a simple thing to do, but unfortunately, if this backup hard drive was to break, now your backup is gone, and you would need to buy a new backup hard drive, or perhaps there's some kind of incident like flooding in your home or any other kind of disaster where both your computer and your external hard drive are damaged. Well, even though you backed everything up, then you've lost everything again. We certainly hope something like that doesn't happen, but it's always good to be prepared. In fact, I once had a power surge in my apartment, and it fried the hard drive in one of my computers because the computer was not plugged into an uninterrupted power supply. So that little fluke actually killed the hard drive. So that's why I recommend an offsite backup service. Now, essentially how that works is you pay a company to have your data uploaded from your computer to their servers, and your data then sits offsite in their servers. Now, those of you that are concerned about cybersecurity, that's a totally reasonable concern. Your data is basically living on some server somewhere else, and all offsite backup services do encrypt and protect their data in a lot of different ways, but your data is out there, and those of you that are concerned with any kind of cybersecurity may not want to go this route, although many of the services we're going to take a look at have some pretty intense integrated security. But at any rate, there are a few options out there. There are actually a lot of options. We're just going to go over a few. One is one of the most popular, which is a company called Carbonite. They've been doing offsite backup forever. They have a couple of different plans. Essentially, the way Carbonite works is you buy the plan, you install a piece of software, and then everything on your computer gets backed up to Carbonite. And the pricing's pretty fair on this. You can back up to 3 computers for $6 a month, so it's pretty cheap. If you want to back up your business data, you can back up to 25 computers for $24 a month. And one of the cool things about the 2 top-tiered plans from Carbonite is they are compliant with a bunch of different laws like HIPAA and FERPA and all these other ones, which is really cool. So anybody in, let's say, the medical industry that wants to back up their data, Carbonite is HIPAA compliant, which is great. So this is a really good one. I personally use Backblaze. The one thing I like about Backblaze is it's completely unlimited. So you could have 7 terabytes of data that you could back up to Backblaze, and that's not a problem at all. And the thing that's really nice about Backblaze is it's quite cheap. Again, it's $6 a month or $60 a year. I subscribe by the year. And basically, when you set up Backblaze, you download a little piece of software and your computer backs up all the time. So every time I'm making changes on the computer, Backblaze records that. And when I'm away from the computer and it's idle, it sends all that stuff to the servers, and I never have to worry about it, which is great. I have multiple hard drives in my computer, and all of those hard drives are being backed up to Backblaze. All of my tech tip raw data gets backed up there. I'm a big fan. So Carbonite and Backblaze are 2 very good choices. Now, I used to use CrashPlan. CrashPlan had a really, really great price, unlimited, good software. But CrashPlan stopped offering their services to consumers, and they now only offer offsite backup to businesses. So that's really not on the table anymore, and that's why I made the switch. If you're interested in this, I do recommend you do some Google searches, but Carbonite is one of the biggest names, and I've been very happy with Backblaze, so I would definitely recommend either of these. I've had a lot of clients that have used Carbonite with absolutely no issue, and I've been using Backblaze for a few years without any problem. And I've had to pull stuff from the backup before, which is, it worked without an issue. It's very easy to restore the files. In fact, I'll show you the Backblaze window. Here's my Backblaze window. It shows I'm backed up. I've backed up almost a terabyte worth of stuff. I can go into the settings and change which of my hard drives get backed up. I can change when the backups happen to not impede the performance of my computer. I can schedule backups, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different settings, but it's great. It just runs in the background. I don't see anything happening. Occasionally, I check my piece of software to make sure I'm backed up, but there's really nothing I have to do about it. As long as I'm connected to the internet, this is going to work. Now, for those of you out there that don't have media, a lot of photos, videos, that kind of thing, and you're really only just creating documents, Word documents, PowerPoints, those kinds of things, it may be enough to use something like Dropbox or Office 365 to back up your stuff. Because basically, if you're storing your documents in Dropbox or Office 365 or any of the other cloud services, that data lives there. So if your computer was to break, you could replace your hard drive or get a new computer, sign back into Dropbox, and all of your stuff will sync down. Now, Dropbox really isn't recommended as a backup service. That's not what it's for. Dropbox is really about being able to access your data from any device. So I wouldn't say this is a great plan if you have things like a really large personal photo library. You may want to rely on other more dedicated backup means to protect that stuff. But again, if you're just doing Word documents and PowerPoint presentations and Excel files and simple stuff, I think Dropbox is a perfectly fair way to back up your stuff, in addition to backing it up to an external hard drive. I'm really redundant with my backups. I back up to external hard drives. I back up to Backblaze, and I also have a Dropbox account that I put a lot of important files in, and I have my Dropbox folder being backed up to both the external hard drives and Backblaze. So no matter what, my data is protected, and I have taken advantage of that through the years, saving massive amounts of files due to hard drives dying. So, I just threw a lot at you. There's a lot here, but the main thing is you want redundancy. You want to back up to an external hard drive. As we saw, an external hard drive is only $50 or $60, and you want to back up to some kind of offsite backup service if you're comfortable doing so. I certainly have no problem with it. And you could see those were about $60 a year, $6 a month. So very, very reasonably priced to protect all of your data that you can't replace. So I hope this was helpful. I know I threw a lot of information at you. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of these services in the comments. And if you use a different offsite backup service than Carbonite or Backblaze, let me know. I'm always curious in learning what else is out there and how people like them. But that's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, hit that subscribe button. I release tech tips every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. And check out thedae.com for our full list of online workshops, classes, private lessons, and summer camp. And if you have an idea for a tech tip you'd like to see me create, throw it in the comments and I'll do my best. Thanks and have a great day.